What if I told you there's a place where you can walk through 2,000 years of history in the morning, swim in crystal clear water in the afternoon, and sit down for a meal so good that time just stops?
And somehow you're not exhausted by the end of the day.
Exactly. Pizza Pals, today we're going to Greece. Welcome back to One Slice at a Time, the podcast where we talk travel one slice at a time. I'm Ryan Joy, a travel agent specializing in trips for lots of people at the same time.
And I am Stephanie, also a travel advisor. I also specialize on doing trips for lots of people all at the same time, but those people are usually related.
Today we're talking about the very best of Greece.
Before we do, just a reminder, last week we talked about Ryan's Caribbean cruise on the Norwegian Aqua. So if you missed that, go check it out.
But here this week, we're here to talk about Greece. It's a rare destination where it's not just one type of trip. It's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So let me set the stage. Greece is one of the only places in the world where you can explore ancient ruins in the morning and then be on a world-class beach in the afternoon.
And from my perspective, that is exactly why it works for groups and families. Because normally you're negotiating. One person wants culture, one person wants relaxation, probably more than one wants food.
One person just wants pizza.
I know that person.
Yeah. Well, Greece solves the problem, though, because you don't have to compromise on any of that stuff, because Greece, when you take it in totality, it has all of it.
And that is super rare.
So here's where people get tripped up a little bit, though, because Greece is actually two completely different experiences. You have mainland Europe, where there's Athens and all the rest, history, culture, and then you have all those Mediterranean islands, Santorini, Mykonos, Rhodes.
And if you try to do that on your own, especially with a large group or a family, that's a logistical nightmare.
No kidding. Packing, unpacking, ferries, flights, dragging suitcases across cobblestone in 95-degree heat. It's a hard pass from me, Stephanie. You know I hate that part of vacation. I'm way too bougie for that.
Way too bougie.
I want someone or something to cart me around.
I mean, you are the one that suggested I get Bell Services to deliver me to my room after a day at Epic Universe.
Yeah, well.
And that's why when we're talking about Greece, a cruise becomes very strategic.
Exactly, because you unpack once and you wake up somewhere new every day.
And this allows people to actually enjoy the trip instead of spending all of their leisure time packing, unpacking, and commuting.
That's right. So let's hit the highlights. In Athens, you're staring at a 2,500-year-old Acropolis, perhaps one of the most ancient structures in Europe.
And you're done with that. So 20 minutes later, you're sitting in a restaurant eating all of this fresh Greek food where a meal is a slow event and nobody is roughing you out the door.
Yeah, and then the next day you're in Santorini, and this is the port where you made the whole decision about the trip. So this is your I made the right decision booking this trip moment. And white buildings with the blue dome tops.
That's the Instagram moment. That one actually lives up to the hype. Also, you have the Royal Beach Club. If
That's
you're on
right.
Royal, correct?
If you're on Royal Caribbean or Celebrity, the Santorini Beach Club is opening very soon and will, for the sailing that we're talking about that I'm doing next year in July, it will be available. So you can do like a whole Santorini highlights tour and then end at the beach club, or you can do a beach club morning and do a Santorini highlights tour in the afternoon, or you can skip all that Santorini highlights and just go to the beach club all day. And then you have Mykonos, where your pace is your choice. You can chill or you can do whatever you want. They have risque beaches there if that's what you're looking for.
Which is great for groups because not everyone wants the same energy level or clothing level.
Everybody in my group has got clothing mandatory. And then you have Rhodes, which is like medieval castle walls, and completely different feel from the other two.
And you can't forget about Hydra.
Yeah, they don't even have cars there.
Just
Just like vibes. Take a water taxi or a donkey.
that is a total reset day.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about something most people overlook but shouldn't. How much time do you actually get in each destination?
Because this is where a lot of trips fall apart. And we've talked about that kind of issue before, where you don't get any time actually in the port enjoying the places you came to see.
You don't want to feel rushed, especially in a place like this where there are lots of things to do. Like we said in Santorini, you might want to spend some time on the
Right.
beach and you might want to go see those blue
Mhm.
domed buildings that are in everybody's Instagram picture. So on this sailing, we've got a minimum of 10 hours in every single port.
That is more than enough time to explore, eat, relax, and feel like you're not sprinting around.
Yeah. And in Santorini, 15 hours in port.
15 hours, Pizza Pals. That is a full experience. That is not a stop. That is a full day.
Yeah, that's sunset in Santorini without watching the clock.
Love it. All right, guys, before we sail away any further,
Stephanie and I want to remind you that we are travel advisors. We help people just like you plan the perfect vacation every single day.
that's right, Ryan. Whether you want to go to Disney World, Greece, Alaska, the Galapagos, we are here to help. And with that, it's time for Ryan's crusty review.
All right. Instead of doing like a full on crusty review, because I haven't been to Greece, let's just talk about the Greece food.
Mhm.
Here's something I realized during my research. There is an argument that pizza started in Greece,
I knew you were
not
going to bring this
Naples.
up.
Listen, ancient Greeks had something called plakos or something like that, which is a flatbread with toppings over 2,000 years ago. Would it hold up to my definition of a pizza with red sauce and cheese? Probably not. But the whole concept of having dough that you put stuff on, it sounds like that probably originated in Greece.
So this trip is basically just a historical investigation for you.
Yeah, research, 100%. This is a pizza pilgrimage for sure. But here's what's interesting. Meals in Greece are not rushed. We kind of talked about this a little bit before.
Mhm. So instead of rushing through your dinner, you're sitting, you're tasting things, you're sharing, you're slowing down. I mean, does that work for you, Ryan? Or are you going to need your iPad? I know you have the palate of like a 10-year-old.
For me personally, I'm going to be going through a complete transformation, I think, on this trip. I'm going to get to the bottom of this whole pizza origin story for sure. But also, Greece has some other like trade-offs for like my favorite foods. Like so like mozzarella sticks, they have like their own version of fried cheese called saganaki. And then,
Mhm.
I love ice cream. They do this Greek yogurt with honey thing. Now, I don't know, not sure that's going to really pass the muster for me, but I'm going to try it. I like a chocolate croissant for breakfast, but they have this thing called tarapita, which is a flaky, cheesy pastry that they eat for breakfast. So I'll try that at least 3, 5 times.
3, 5 times. We'll see how long Ryan's food trade-offs last. We'll have to report
Yeah.
back on that one.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's get back into this whole thing. I don't even think we've talked about the date yet, but this
Mm-mm.
trip that I'm planning is July 18 of 2027, and we are doing it on Celebrity Cruises.
And that's where I'm going to jump in because if you're planning for groups or families, consistency matters.
Exactly. And Celebrity delivers that elevated experience across the board every time, whether you're talking about the Caribbean, Alaska, or Greece.
Yep. Food, service, accommodation, it all has to work together.
And fun fact, Celebrity was founded by a Greek company. So that big X on the side of the ship is not, in fact, an X. It is the Greek letter chi. And
Yes.
but this may explain the whole blue and white motif they have going on. It's
Theme.
not the exact
It could
right
be.
blue, but maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're very on brand doing celebrity for this trip.
that's right. So here is the opportunity. July 18, 2027. It's a 7-day cruise out of Athens. I've locked in group pricing on the Celebrity Infinity. Infinity is a Millennium class ship, is small by comparison, only
Right.
2,000 passengers and 1,000 crew members. So it's literally 2 to 1. And here's the cool thing. This trip is over a year away, and
Mhm.
I secured the prices a year ago. So
Whoa.
the balcony cabins that I have right now are about $1,500 per person below the
Wow.
current pricing on the website.
That is a meaningful discount there.
Yeah,
That's not
it's
a few $100s off a person, guys. We're talking $1,500 off per person. And, that price is just going to go up as we get closer to this cruise. So you're locking in a great price on this incredible vacation.
but what's funny is when you hear somebody say like it's $1,500 off, you
Mhm.
assume that the per person price must be like 10 grand. It's
Right. Because
not.
it's such a large. Yeah.
Yeah, the per person price is more like 2,000.
It's a
So
great price.
this is just a really good value. In fact, you could go and try to book an inside cabin on
Mhm.
Celebrity's website right now, and it would cost you more than the concierge level cabins that I have in the group. So,
Guys, it sounds like everybody needs to be messaging Ryan. Tell us how we can best get a hold of you, how these pizza pals are going to reach out to make sure they secure their spot
yeah,
for July 18th, guys,
2027. Bookings at
2027,
one
not
slice.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bookings at One Slice Pod is definitely the way to get in touch with for this. So, Pizza Pals, I want to hear from you. What is your priority when you think about Greece? Is it food, history, or beaches?
Or are you like Ryan and you're building your entire itinerary around meals,
Listen, I am just,
namely historical pizza?
yeah, I am just doing the world a favor by pulling this thread and following it all the way back to Greece. And when you combine completely full days in port, unpacked one's
Mhm.
convenience, a cruise line that is a premium experience, destination
Yes.
that's going to literally check every box, whether it's history, ancient history, culture, food,
Mhm.
beach, it's got it all. That's where this trip becomes super special for you and the family that you've been conflicted with about what your next vacation is going to look like.
Or maybe not your family.
Yeah.
Next week, guys, we are going to kick off a 3-part series about river cruising. The whole month of May, we're going to do river cruising. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
So, guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
And for more travel insights, group trips, and more pizza puns and analogies, visit extracheese.fun and subscribe to our newsletter.
Ryan, before we go, I have to ask, what's for dinner tonight?
Oh, for sure, tonight is going to be Greek food. After this podcast, it's got to be Greek food.
Look at that growth.
We established that pizza is Greek food, right?
I guess so.
I mean, look, if I come back eating yogurt and honey instead of ice cream for dessert, then man,
So we'll know that this trip has definitely changed you.
for sure.
All right, pizza pals, until next time, keep traveling the world.
One slice at a time.
Have a
Bye.
great week. Bye.